You watch the door close. Not from inside the room, from your couch, your bed, the kitchen table, a phone glowing in your hand while two powerful men vanish past cameras you will never get through. Someone says, "Why do you even care?" And for a second, you hear yourself think it too. I shouldn't care this much. You cannot vote in that room. You cannot speak in that room. Half the details may not even make sense yet. Still, your eyes stay there. People call that drama. That is the lazy answer. Because somewhere in your mind, that closed door feels like your future being moved without asking you. A closed room does something ugly to the human brain. It takes distance and turns it into pressure. The less people can see, the more the mind starts stuffing the dark with guesses. A deal, a threat, a sentence that changes prices, jobs, chips, rent, the future. Pick your poison. Ari Kruglansky and Donna Webster called part of this the need for cognitive closure, the pull toward a clear answer when ambiguity starts feeling unbearable. That is why a summit can feel personal from a bedroom. Someone is lying there with the phone light on their face, blanket pulled up halfway like it can protect them from the world. Leaders walk into a building on the other side of the planet. The person does not know every policy detail. Maybe they don't even care about the ceremony. Then the door closes, and the mind wants one thing: someone to come back out and say what happens next. Calling this doom scrolling is too easy. Honestly, if a little lazy. This is the brain trying to reduce threat by finding certainty, and the news cycle knows exactly where to press. Live feeds, slow handshakes, headlines before facts, experts guessing through smoke and calling it analysis. The social lie is that if you are not in the room, you should not feel involved. Please. A closed room becomes a locked door with light leaking underneath it. Nobody inside explains anything, but everyone outside keeps staring at the gap. Maybe people are not obsessed with leaders. Maybe they're obsessed with the possibility that someone, somewhere, knows what's going to happen. But uncertainty is only the first layer. Power gets frightening when it starts behaving like weather. Someone hears about a summit, then looks down at the electric bill, the grocery receipt, rent due next week. The AI tool their company suddenly wants everyone to embrace. The room is far away. The consequences are not. Dasher Keltner, Deborah Gruenfeld, and Cameron Anderson describe this through approach inhibition theory of power. People with more power tend to move with freedom, reward, and action. People with less power tend to feel threat, constraint, and hesitation. That sounds academic until it hits your kitchen table. Because when control feels unevenly distributed, the mind starts watching the people who seem able to move the storm. And this is the part people pretend not to understand. Global systems have become local nerves. Chips touch your phone. Energy touches your bill. Markets touch layoffs. AI touches the work you thought was safe. A decision made behind polished wood can show up weeks later as a higher price, a smaller paycheck, or that quiet thought you never say out loud. Someone is redesigning the future, and I'm just supposed to adapt. This is not admiration for powerful men. It is impact scanning. People do not check the sky because they worship storms. They check it because rain changes the day. You are not addicted to politics. You are scanning for impact. But danger is not the only signal people read when they watch power. Power is not just heard, it is watched. A handshake lasts 3 seconds, and people replay it like evidence. Who reached first? Who smiled less? Who stayed still while everyone else kept fixing their jacket? The official statement comes later, polished and almost insultingly calm. But the room already spoke. Joseph Henrich and Francisco Gil-White described prestige as a social learning signal. Plain English, humans watch high-status people because status tells the group what to value, what to fear, what to copy, and what to prepare for. That sounds distant until you catch yourself studying a pause like it was a warning. I know this is theater, so why am I reading it like survival? Because powerful people often move before ordinary people are allowed to understand why. And platforms make the whole thing worse The table becomes content. The silence becomes content. Camera flashes start looking like a ritual. A system too large to understand gets squeezed into a face, a posture, a chair, a half-second delay. Like a stage play where the real story is not the dialogue. It is the blocking. So no, reading small signals is not automatically paranoia. That is the cheap explanation people use when they do not want to admit power has body language. The lower tone? The social lie is that serious people only listen to official statements. Please, the most honest part of power is often not the statement. It is the room. And once you can see the theater, the real question is whether you can watch it without handing your nervous system a front row seat.
So the next time you catch yourself watching that closed door, do not insult the behavior too quickly. You are not weak for wanting context. You are watching a world where control keeps getting pushed upward into rooms ordinary people can only see from the outside. That is the quiet humiliation nobody says out loud. Decisions feel distant, but consequences still know your address. The goal is not to stop watching power. The goal is to stop worshiping the room. Watch the signal, notice the pattern, but do not let every headline move into your nervous system and start rearranging the furniture. Curiosity can inform you. Obsession teaches you to feel small. And being well-informed can become a very respectable way to stay afraid. So be honest. What kind of powerful room is hardest for you to look away from? Political, corporate, technological, or personal? If you study what people do before trusting what they say, you'll probably understand this place. But there is another question now. Why do some people feel safer when they stop following everything?